How's it going, everybody? I'm Shawn Pila.
I'm Kelly Green, and welcome back to the Farmstead.
The Farmstead is proudly presented by the Ulupono Initiative, committed to a sustainable and resilient Hawaii. Alright, today is a very special day. Not only is it Earth Month, but our friends from the Hawai'i Farm Trails have organized a massive tree planting for us here at the farm.
We are so stoked and super grateful.
Yes, we are. And you know, these are actually the first trees that we're planting here at the property.
We have planted some Hawaiian tea leaf, but these are our very first crops.
The Farmstead Episode 8, the crops. In this episode, our buddy Kyle Jackson from the Hawai'i Ulu Co-op will be helping us map out a section of our farm for a Hawaiian staple and superfood, ulu, or the Hawaiian breadfruit.
So let's get to work.
Hey everybody, I'm Kyle Jackson. I am the Farmer Member Coordinator at the Hawai'i Ulu Cooperative. I've been in the agriculture scene on the Big Island for about 6 years, and I work with the cooperative supporting our members out in the field and making sure that they have what they need in order to be successful. I'm excited to be working with the Ulu Co-op because we're providing local sustainable food and allowing our farmers who give us this food to maintain their economic viability in doing so. So you may be wondering, what is a cooperative? So the co-op is committed to reviving ulu as a viable economic source for our farmers and a sustainable food source for our community. We are focused on providing farmers a consistent and reliable market where they can bring the food to us at any time, which is currently a struggle in ulu farming. And for folks who want to invest in that, is that previously there was not much of a market or an infrastructure for that. So that's one value. Another is that we're focused on reinforcing the values of Malama Aina and reinforcing the cultural traditional practices that are native to this area and combating commercial traditional agriculture and the importing of our food in order to increase our food security and our sovereignty in that matter.
All right, Kyle, my man, thank you so much for joining us, and helping us map out, our first crop, the ulu. And so I guess what's like some of the first steps when approaching a new planting project?
Yeah, so thank you guys for having us out. We're really stoked to be supporting getting some new trees in the ground. It's one of our favorite things to do. One of the first steps in site assessment for getting new trees in the ground is making sure it's clear of whatever was planted before. So if it was a previous orchard site, you're going to want to remove trees and roots and other obstacles. If it's somewhere like this, you're going to want to buzz the grass down and do a soil test is really helpful because that'll give you an idea of what nutrients you have and what nutrients you may need to add. And on top of that process, putting down a cover crop such as perennial peanut or a cocktail of other things can add microbial life and other nutrients to your soil before planting.
Yeah, awesome, man. And I guess some of the tools?
Yeah, some of the tools when you're doing your initial site prep are going to be some flags for marking, a tape to measure out your distances. We generally recommend anywhere from 30 to 40 feet for orchards. You can go smaller, but maintenance practices become a little bit more challenging there.
Okay.
And if you wanted to do a more agroforestry style approach, you could increase it up to 50 or more feet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I think we're working with about like 120 to about 250 foot rectangle. So I think we'll stick with the 30-foot planting spacing. And yeah, the sun's out and we're super excited. So I guess, should we start mapping some stuff out?
Let's get some trees in the ground.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's all about working with the land, right?
Totally. All right, I guess I'm gonna move this guy over to about here. Yeah, Kenta's on. Yep.
That looks pretty great.
Sick, man. And how long until, you know, we start bearing fruit?
That's a great question. So here in Hawaii, with how many different climate zones we have and all the different microclimates within those, you can get varying results. And the biggest factor in that, other than your climate, is your maintenance.
Okay.
So if you're inputting fertilizer and you're pruning when it's necessary, which is not necessary for younger trees, but once they get older, those are some of the biggest factors that affect production. So you can see fruit anywhere from 5 to 7 years.
Nice.
So, you know, the first year may be a little bit of a light year for fruiting. It may have excessive abortion or dimpling.
Okay.
So you may have a lot of fruits forming, but not actually developing fully.
Nice.
And that's totally normal in the first year or two. And so about year 7, you should start seeing significant production.
Awesome. And then I guess you're talking about climate and location. What's the ideal, I guess, elevation and climate for these ulu?
So the ideal elevation and climate for ulu in Hawaii, there's a few different factors. One of which is elevation for sure. Keeping it below 1,500 feet is best for production. It will survive and produce fruit above those elevations, but if you're looking at it from a production standpoint, we recommend a lower height than that. And you know, something like pH, optimal pH range is about 5 to 6.5 pH.
Awesome. I think we're looking in good shape, and we'll keep marking these things out and get some trees in the ground.
So everybody's got their hands on, and we're starting to get the first few holes dug. And after we dig the holes and size them appropriately, we'll add in our amendments. We'll go over a list of that shortly. And once the amendments are added and they're well mixed in, we'll put the trees in the holes, and we'll cover them with some compost or wood chips, mulch material, and the trees will be set. We're in a really good stage right now where we've been getting a lot of rain recently, so the ground is really well hydrated. Not overly so, and the trees are gonna have access to some good water when they first get planted. So that's where we're at for now. All right, y'all, so this is the second stage. You can see that we've got the hole dug over here. Depending on the size of your tree, you're gonna wanna dig different holes, depending on what size of tree you're transplanting. So you wanna go about twice the width and height of your container for your tree, so you can put in some soil and amendments and have that tree feel comfortable where it's gonna be. Today, we've mixed up a series of amendments, including chicken manure pellets, gypsum, a couple different types of fertilizer, sulfur potash, and dolomite as well. And you can find some of that information in the video description link. And also us at the co-op, we've got recommendations and fertilizer calculators that folks can use as well. So what we do is we get those amendments all together and we homogenize them, mix them together, and get them ready to plant in your hole. So this hole might need to be a little bit bigger, but it's okay. And if we have a shovel somewhere around, we can mix some of this soil back in here, and from the top and kind of...
Want me to make it a little bigger?
Yeah, you could make it bigger, scoop some of that soil in there. So the most important thing is just to make sure that the tree has enough space, that it's not, you know, you're not shoving it in there and it's cramped and it's got a little bit of room to grow. If when you're planting the tree, you notice that the soil is not really well hydrated, you're gonna wanna go ahead and water that soil so that your trees don't experience transplant shock when you put them in. Having appropriate access to water is really important for young trees and transplant shock to be avoided. Okay, so you've got your plant and you've got a root ball down here. This plant doesn't have so many roots coming out of the bottom, but you can often see roots poking out of the bottom of your plants when they're ready to transplant. This one is definitely healthy. We've got a lot of root action going on, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the ground before it falls apart more. So we're gonna flip it and place it. right, man. We got the trees in the ground. Things are looking pretty good.
Is this kind of what you guys were thinking with the mulch around the base of the tree here?
Yeah, that's perfect. You can see the mulch is piled up around the base in a circle. We call it a donut. And that'll help with weed prevention, water retention, overall just keeping your nutrients in your soil.
Nice. And
helping maintain a more balanced experience for the young tree.
Awesome. And then I guess talk a little bit about the upkeep, you know, like what's like our next steps?
Totally. So once you have trees in the ground, especially ones as young as this, it's really helpful to make sure that they are not able to be attacked by any predators.
Okay.
So we have pig and cow issues here on the Big Island, you know, and they can debark or destroy a young tree.
Totally.
So you can use things like pallet fences or hog wire with some weed mat around it, just tucked around so the pigs can't access the tree.
Awesome. Yeah, I think we'll probably do the hog wire weed mat style for now until we can actually fence off more acreage, but looking pretty cool, man. Yeah, all the trees are spaced really well. We've got a staggered spacing going on here, so they'll get really good light and really good air penetration. The biggest thing to watch out for in the next few months is just making sure that they get enough water. Okay.
They'll need really light nutrient application over the next year or two as they get established. And you know, we can add some descriptions to that in the description part if you like, if that's easier.
Yeah, perfect.
And you'll kind of scale up your nutrients as your trees get older to full maturity.
Awesome. Sick, man. Yeah, I think it was a great turnout. You know, we scored on the weather, a little bit of rain in the beginning, and then it's like perfect overcast with a little bit of a breeze and a beautiful turnout. And thanks again, man. Yeah,
we were really excited to come out and get hands on trees and hands on the Aina and, you know, participate with our community a little bit in a volunteer aspect of making sure that we're planting more food. And
totally.
We always encourage people to help us do that by purchasing more trees through Project Kanu, so we can continue to do outreach and efforts like this and get more food growing for our community.
And then where can we find, you know, the products? How can we find you guys online, social media, all that stuff?
Totally. So one of the best ways to get a hold of us is through our website, eatbreadfruit.com. You can also find us on all the socials under Hawai'i Ulu Co-op. We've got promotions on there, we've got events, and on the website you can also find information about joining the co-op.
Nice. And
you can contact myself through that avenue, and if you have any questions about what it takes to join the co-op, if you have farm that you want to plant, or you have ulu trees that your family manages that maybe nobody's eating and you guys would like to get that food to people. So, you know, folks are encouraged to reach out to us if they have any questions about that, and even any questions about ulu in general. We like to help our community farmers who are not members of the co-op be as successful as they can with ulu.
Awesome, yeah, man. Yeah, be sure to check them out online. You guys have all kinds of products that are ready to eat, ready to cook, right? You guys have the ulu, I think some kalo, and you mentioned.
Yeah, we've got ulu, kalo, pala'ai, which is squash, and uala, or sweet potato. And we have those steamed and frozen in a few local retailers, including Island Naturals and KTA.
Awesome. Yeah, be sure to check them out, eatbreadfruit.com, and on social media at Hawai'i Ulu Co-op. Kyle, thanks again, man.
Thanks, Shawn.
Happy birthday,
my friend.
Heck yeah, happy birthday.
Boy, that sure was fun. We definitely got down and dirty, and we would love to extend a huge mahalo to Kyle, Kenta, and the rest of the team at Hawai'i Ulu Co-op.
And to Khaleesi and her Ohana at Hawai'i Farm Trails and Project Kanu, and to the volunteers at Hawai'i Electric Light Company for helping us out, and of course to our family, friends, the neighbors, and the entire community for showing up today and helping to contribute to Hawaii's food system. Again, we're trying to promote a sustainable Hawaii, you know, promote regenerative agriculture, and also grow more food for our people.
Please stay tuned for our next episode where our guest teaches us the importance of water, where to store it, and what to do when it doesn't rain.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you all in the next video. Ahui ho!